So the Yamaha R3 is the best beginner bike out there. There's one big problem with all the other competitors, and today we're going to cover that. All right, the Yamaha R3 in 2025. Why would you want to buy this bike? Now, as far as seating position goes on this bike, it is super comfortable. My knees are a little bit bent. I am a little hunched over the bike. It's not quite a naked bike seating position, but it's also not like a super sport, anything crazy. I'm pretty happy with the way this bike feels and how comfortable it is on the road. Oh, that's so embarrassing. I just stalled it. Anyways, back to why I should be telling you advice on motorcycles. Now let's talk about displacement of this bike. It is a 321cc parallel twin that puts out 41 horsepower at 21 foot-pounds of torque. Now, I do feel that the power band of this hits a little bit differently than some of the other bikes I've ridden out there. It feels like it builds up a little less linear than some of the other parallel twins out there, which honestly makes it really fun. It has a little bit more character than some of those other beginner bikes. Another reason I really love this bike is just the looks of it. It looks aggressive, it looks sporty. I absolutely love the front end of the new Yamahas. I think it's like 2020, 2021 they changed the look. Dude, just look at the front end of this beautiful bike. Absolutely gorgeous. Now you might be wondering, how does this bike feel on the highway? Well, I'm on the on-ramp right now. Let's find out. All right, here goes acceleration. Now as far as wind goes on this bike, it's not that windy at all, and I don't feel like I'm getting blown around that much, so feels great. I'm not getting a bunch of wind in my face. There is a little bit, because on these upright bikes you're gonna get more wind in your face. No way of getting around that, but not anything unbearable. Overall, it's pretty solid. All right, guys, so there is one massive issue with all the beginner bikes out there. So it all started with my brand new 2024 Ninja 500. I loved that bike, absolutely loved it. I rode it around for a couple of months. Everything was great, everything was fine, until one day I started noticing when I really got on the gas with this bike, it felt like there was just a hair bit of clutch slippage, and I'm like, that's really weird. There's barely any miles on this bike. It's not even a year old. What is going on? So anyways, I changed out the oil. Maybe the guy before me didn't put in wet clutch oil. It's possible. Changed out the oil, still felt it. I was like, okay, I guess it could also be the clutch lever. So I adjusted the clutch lever to the proper length, still felt the clutch slip. After doing my own research, I found out that apparently in the Ninja 500s, Ninja 400s, Z400s, they put light clutch springs in these bikes to make smoother shifting, and just to make up for, you know, noobs. You learn to ride, you're not a smooth shifter. Those light clutch springs allow you to shift super smoothly, and the clutch pull is super light on those bikes because there's light clutch springs. So those are the good things about having light clutch springs. However, there is a huge downside, and that is your clutch slips whenever you go to rip it, which eventually will cause your clutch to burn out. So basically, if you buy a Ninja 400, if you buy a Z400, Z500, Ninja 500, even the CF Moto bikes, I notice it a little bit. So a lot of those beginner bikes, you buy them, and yes, they're great until you go to rip them. And the only way to fix that is to put heavier clutch springs in, and if you don't, your clutch is eventually going to burn out completely, and you'll have to replace it, which can be pricey if you don't know how to do it yourself. Now, this Yamaha R3, out of all the beginner bikes that I've ridden, does not have that issue whatsoever. The clutch feels great. It's really smooth at shifting. It's still a really light clutch pull, but there is zero clutch slippage whatsoever. That's why I think this bike has a huge advantage over all the other beginner bikes. Alright, so for somebody brand new looking to pick up their very first motorcycle, would I recommend this? And I would say absolutely yes. Out of all the beginner bikes I've ridden, this is probably one of my favorites. And the reason for that is not only, I guess this is in kind of my opinion, is it the best looking bike out there, the little bit of extra character in the power band makes it much more fun compared to the 400s, the Ninjas, all the other beginner bikes out there. So I don't think you can go wrong with picking this up. The power is plenty to where you can buy this thing. You can spend 3 to 4 years on it and be happy with the power. You got to remember, modern 300s or 400s 0 to 60 time is faster than the majority of the cars out there. So when you get the bike, you ride on it, sure, you're going to have those 600 squids telling you, oh, your bike's slow, you need to get a real bike. Don't listen to them. It's going to feel like you're flying. You're going to feel like you're so fast, especially when you're just learning to ride. So I think the power is a great amount, something you can grow into for a couple years, and then eventually down the road, once you're comfortable, upgrade. So would I recommend this bike to a beginner? Absolutely, I would.